A hospital can be a complicated place. There's so much good, along with sad, the intense trauma that can linger.
I remember thinking that this looks like a war zone. This really looks like some sort of war zone, but these are non-combatants, to say the least.
UCHealth Dr. Kevin Rothschild was there as victim after victim came into University of Colorado Hospital from a movie theater in Aurora.
It's certainly not something that I'm ever going to forget.
Especially when reminders happen more often than we'd like to accept.
I wouldn't say that I relive those moments a lot, but when this kind of thing happens, I absolutely do. I just recall that fear and just the confusion, not knowing what was going on. Were there going to be 40 more patients in the emergency room? So it's that sort of sinking feeling of just not knowing why this is happening, even as a provider, that I do. That'll never go away, really.
It brings back the memories.
People are triggered, and it's upsetting to people.
Memories Dr. Elizabeth Harry, the Senior Director of Clinical Affairs at University of Colorado Hospital, knows are prevalent in much of the staff.
It's like physically reliving the previous experience. And so you'll have the same sort of catecholamine surge and stress response that you would have to the first event. And that's what usually happens when you haven't processed trauma.
It's why Dr. Harry has been giving out resources to employees who may be struggling.
I think that the healthiest thing for people to do is to talk about it and reach out.
Reaching out is what has helped Dr. Rothschild go on, a healing process that's complicated, but does not have to happen alone.
It's easy to sort of to dwell on that and just go back to that sort of trauma, but I think expressing it, talking to other people, realizing you're sort of not alone in this situation is the best advice I think I can give.
Liz Kotelik, 9 News.
If you've been having trouble processing the events of this week, there is help out there. Colorado Crisis Services has a 24/7 hotline. That number is on your screen. And we have more resources on 9news.com. You can call or text that hotline. Text the word TALK to 38255. Crisis Services says calls and texts have gone up in general during the pandemic, and then they went up again this week. About 1,000 calls and 130 texts came in Monday. The average in 2020 was closer to 620 calls and texts each day.